Okay, so today we're going to talk about what we did in class today. We're going to check over the problems, make sure our multiplication problems and our division problems are in the right place. So lately videos have been a little fuzzy, so I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to try to zoom in and try to make the fuzziness go away. So we could talk about it tomorrow if it worked today or if it's not good. So we are on our multiplication side. Multiplication side. So make sure that you're looking at your multiplication. I may be going over these problems in a different order than you have. That's okay. Just move your paper around. So the first one that is a multiplication problem is Joseph here. Joseph spent 3/4 hours working out at the gym. He spent 2/3 of that time lifting weights. What fraction of an hour did he spend lifting weights? So where are those action words that told me the action I'm taking is multiplication? This one, 2/3 of that time. What was that time? 3/4. So I'm taking 2/3 of 3/4. This was my big action that told me it was multiplication. I was taking part of that time. I'm going to write that down. Part of something. So when I have a fraction or a mixed number and I'm doing something of something else, I'm multiplying. All right, so let's do that. Let's do 3/4 of 2/3. Well, we reviewed last night. This is a super easy one to solve because I don't have any mixed numbers. I can just 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. That can be simplified. Some of us knows right away 6 is half of 12. So I can divide this one by 6 and this one by 6. Divide it in half. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Split it in half. Okay, I'm going to move to my next one. So a section of Leonard's garden is 2 1/4 yards wide and 4 1/2 yards long. How many square yards of mulch should he buy to cover this area? I already boxed wide and long. Those are actions. I'm having something width and a length, and I'm trying to find area. Area problems, when it gives me a width and a length, and I have to find what comes in the inside of it, that's multiplication. So my problem is 2 1/4 times 4 1/2. So what strategy am I going to use to solve this? I'm going to use rectangle sections. Let me try to move my paper over just a little bit. Let me try to see if I can without the camera following. All right, so I have 2 parts by 2 parts. So my box needs to be 2 by 2. 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 4 and then a half. In the middle, I must write my problem. 2 times 4 is 8. Remember, our first box is always the easiest. This one, 4 times 1/4. What's the denominator of a whole number? 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4/4 equals 1. Can't it get any more simplified than that one? All right, so 2 times 1/2. Put the denominator of 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 halves, another one that works out well. That equals 1 whole. 2 over 2. Any number over a number equals 1 whole. 1/2 times 1/4. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 4 is 8. I did all 4 of my problems. Now I need to write them on the side. 8, 1, 1, and 1/8. Now I'm adding 8, 9, 10. As far as multiplying fractions go, this one was pretty easy because it ended up that I had a lot of holes. So these fractions, I didn't have to deal with any. I didn't have to make different denominators. And 1/8 is as simple as it can get. So let's move on to the next multiplication one. Last one should be Kendall, who has 3.5 boxes of chocolates. 3/5 of those chocolates in the box, so 3/5 of these boxes are caramels. If she puts all of them together, how many boxes of chocolates? Because I'm not going to add 3.5 boxes plus 3/5 of a part. That doesn't work. I could only add boxes and boxes together. I'm saying I have part of something. Part of, there it is again. That means multiplication. Part of. So when you have these problems and you hear in that problem say, is it asking me to do part of something? That means multiplication. So here's my problem. 3.5 times 3/5. 3.5 times 3/5. So I have 2 parts and just 1 part. So I have to make one of them be, let me scoot my paper over. I'm trying to zoom in for you here so it's a little easier to see. 3 parts, half a part. And this one over here is 3/5. I'm trying to write with my pen and my hand out of the way so you can see through it. So let's multiply. 3 times 3/5. The denominator of every whole number is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 5 is 5. But that's an improper fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Circle groups of 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. One whole group, 4 left over. The denominator is fifths. So let's do 3/5 times 1/2. I get 3/10. All right, my 2 parts, let's line them up. 1 and 4/5, and the other one is 3/10. So I could multiply this by 10, multiply this by 5. But I'm going to keep this 3/10 because I noticed that I could just change this one to get my denominator of 10. What could I do? What do I do to 5 to get over to 10? Times 2, times 2, and I get 8. I'm adding. This isn't, I'm adding. 8 plus 3 is 11. Keep my denominator. 10, 10, 10. My wholes. 11/10 doesn't work. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to circle groups of 10. How many groups? 1 whole, 1 left over. These 2 together, 1 and 1 equals 2 and 1/10. 2 and 1/10. Okay? 2 and 1/10. And that was talking about how many boxes of chocolates. Right? 2 and 1/10 boxes of chocolates. All right, I'm going to flip over to my division side. Obviously, the other 3 problems should be division. So, it takes 12 buckets of water to fill a fish tank. If Chloe uses scoops equal to 1/4 of a bucket, how many scoops? Let me start over. I got distracted when I was reading. It takes 12 buckets of water to fill a fish tank. If Chloe uses scoops to equal 1/4 of a bucket, how many scoops? So I have to keep taking out. I already know my total. This is like servings. I have to see how many times 1/4 can go into 12. So I have 12, and I have to divide it up into fourths. Okay, so I got a lot of drawing to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm dividing them into fourths. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. 48 whole little pieces. So 12 divided by 1/4 gives us 48 scoops. So I was dividing because I wanted to see how many fourths went into 12. Let's talk about Victor. Victor shares, oh, there's a good word, shares 1/8 of a bag of marbles among 4 people. how much of the bag does each person get? What am I starting with? Did I start off with 4 people and I'm going to share them? Or am I starting off with 1/8 of a bag of marbles? I started off with 1/8 of a bag of marbles and I'm sharing it with 4 people. So I have to draw a box that shows 1/8. I'm going to split in half and put 4 sections on each side. That was 4 sections. 4 sections. I'm going to shade in 1. 1/8. I have to split it up in by 1, 2, 3, 4. How much does each person get? 1 piece. Each of the 4 people gets 1 piece. 1 out of 8 times 4 is 32. I could count all these and I should see that I have 32 squares. So I have each person gets 1/32 of a bag of marbles. 1/32 of a bag. Okay, let's talk about Sophie down here. Sophie and 3 of her friends. I'm going to circle that. Sophie and 3 of her friends. So how many people is that? 4. Share 1/3 of a pizza. They share 1/3 of a pizza. Share. Oh, there's my big clue. How much of the pizza will each person get if they share a pizza equally? Oh, they're sharing it equally. That's another division word. So I'm sharing it, so I have to split it up. Am I sharing the 4 people? No, I'm sharing the 1/3 of a pizza. Divided by 4. Okay, 1/3 divided by 4. So let's draw a picture. So maybe today we didn't even need to pause the video since you were already solved these problems before we started. 1/3, and I'm going to divide it by 4. Okay, so I get 1 of those pieces. 1 of those pieces. And those pieces are worth 12. 1/12 of a pizza. So tomorrow we are going to practice some more with fraction problems, and we're also going to continue talking about how you grid those in when you have the gridded section on one of those formalized tests. Alright, so tomorrow you're going to show me those notes, and hopefully we are good on multiplying and dividing fractions and how to tell which problem is which.